Hey everybody, hope you're having a great summer so far. Excited to announce our show for next year. Before we do that, just a couple of quick announcements. First thing, we're going to be sending out invites to join the Band app, and the Band app is kind of our main way of communicating. If you see that come through, it's a little green bee icon, and that's an invite to join the Band app. So just go ahead and sign up. All right, second thing, we're going to send a mail out next week. One of the things it's going to have is a password for the student section of the website, and on that student section we're going to start posting show music, warm-ups, any kind of thing that you could possibly need for that. And also in that mail out, parents, it's going to have some information for you about a new program called Cut Time that's going to replace Charms as our main way to communicate through the Booster Club. You don't have to fill out any new info. The only thing you're going to need to do is create a password, and that'll enable you to log in and check how much fees you've paid and all kinds of stuff like that. So it's going to be a great tool, and there'll be some info about that in next week's mail out. All right, without further ado, here is our video for the 2021 Marching Band Show. All right, so as you can see, we're doing a really fun show for next year. I think you're going to really enjoy this one. The design team has been really excited about it and having a good time planning it and everything. We are going to post a show logo probably soon. We don't really have a complete final thing yet. We've got a couple of drafts that I think we'll put up there on the video screen in a second. But we don't really have anything final yet, so we'll be posting that soon. Also, instead of doing like a movie poster this year, we're going to do kind of a rock concert tour poster, so it'll be kind of the same size as the other ones. I know y'all like to collect those and everything like that, and you'll get that at band camp. So again, we're kind of still deciding between just calling the show ZEP or calling it ZEP 21. We're finalizing all that. The big thing right now is don't share that promo video with anybody else. Don't post anything yet. We're going to have a shorter version of that and a logo and all kinds of stuff that we could push out nationally later in the summer. For right now, that video is just for us and the Rebel Regiment family. Okay? And our show designers have let us know that it's important that our timing of when we release our show information, and they feel like later in the summer is going to be better for that. So that's what we're going to wait and do before we kind of send things out nationally and post it on the website and all that kind of good stuff. So for now, this is all just kind of for us in-house. To kind of describe the show for the students who know Drum and Bugle Corps, it's kind of a combination of the Carolina Crown Rockstar show, the Blue Coats Downside Up show, and the Blue Coats Beatles show. And if you're not a drum corps fan, you could go on YouTube and watch those and kind of get a little bit better idea of what this is going to be like. That's just a glimpse into it, though. What we have planned is a whole lot different and more geared for a high school band. But those at least could give you a general idea of all that stuff. Okay, also a couple of quick thank yous before we kind of go into some more explanation about the show. I want to thank Brad Bruton for building a prop prototype. And I want to thank Austin Barnett for the promo video and putting all the graphics and everything together with that. And also Mr. Paget and Mr. Cohen for helping out demonstrate the prop prototype you're going to see in a minute and things like that. And just kind of, and then really the whole band staff for those that kind of help with giving ideas and different things like that and all that good stuff. So anyway, next part here, we're going to talk kind of through the show and let you know what some of the props, different things are going to look like. All right, first let's talk about some of the props. We're going to do some light truss props, kind of like what you see here with Carolina Crown that they did in their Rockstar show. Kind of see one in the background there. That'll be part of just the ambiance. We're going to try and turn the entire field into a rock concert, and that's just to kind of get the feel for that there. And you can kind of see some different shots there. That's what we're going for right there, is like what light truss props would look like at a rock concert stage or something like that. There's another pic of that as well. All right, next up, we're also going to have a stage. The show designers love the stage that we had in the pinball show and that we also use in our 2017 show. So we're going to do another stage like that, probably different colors, but they really like the way we had the LED lights surrounding it. So we're probably going to have something like that near the front of the field. Also, this show is going to have a lot of solos featured, maybe even electric guitar and different things like that. So we wanted to kind of have a platform where we can really bring attention to those solos and features when they happen. Very similar to what we did in the pinball show. I don't think we're planning to have a tarp under it or anything like that, though, but we'll have, the same kind of effect there. And with those lights changing, they can coordinate with the lights that we have on the light trusses, because we're going to kind of put some, rock concert lights and LEDs on those light truss props as well. That'll all kind of coordinate together. Here's just some general colors, the types of things you might see in the flags and things like that, kind of a psychedelic 70s kind of thing. We'd even talked about maybe lighting up the floor of the stage instead of around it, so that's something we're looking at too. That'd be really kind of cool if we could do something like that. But this is just kind of the type. It'll be very colorful. All right, next up, one of our show designers came up with the idea of having a prop that's called a Spiricon that no one's ever done that we could see. And basically it's just two discs that are kind of connected together, and we can roll these around the field and do other kind of things. I'll show you real quick. Our Band Booster prop manager Brad Bruton made a prototype of this, and then Mr. Paget, Mr. Cohen, and I went out and we filmed some things with this prop last week. So here's just what it'll look like. These can kind of roll across the field. Now, obviously, these will be painted and probably have bright colors or something that coordinates with the show. Right now, it's just plain wood, but there's rolling. You can kind of make them into kind of a stage. You got somebody dancing, doing a solo, playing a solo. We'll have some kind of probably a little miniature light truss or something that holds this up in the front, so it won't have that'll, for safety we'll do that, but that just gives you a general idea of what you can use that for. Right there at the front we'll have something that would go under that and hold that up. All right, and then here is just the prop moving forward again, seeing it from a different angle. And believe it or not, one student can roll that prop. It's not very difficult, but it'll be kind of a neat effect that we can do. We're going to have 6 of those out on the field. Like here's another thing we could do. You can spin around if we have different colors on different sides and things like that. And again, these will be painted and have some designs on them and things like that. They're just plain for right now because we haven't finished all the rest of that yet. But that's called a Spiricon, and that's going to be one of our main props. Again, there'll be 6 of those stationed around the field. Here's just one more different look. There's several different things we can do with these, and the thought process in this was to have a prop and something that was unique that no one else had ever done before. And those props, until they're used, they're going to be hidden behind some carts on the field. Again, these will be painted. This is just like a miniature version of what those would look like, and we're going to have different kinds of carts for them. There's one that has an angular look, there's a triangle, so those will be hidden behind these carts. And also the great thing about these carts is we can stash flags and rifles and things like that underneath them, and they roll out, and then those props can kind of just roll off of those when we're ready to use them and roll back on them when we're finished with them. And there's kind of just a little field look of where those might be stationed and where the light trusses would be and where the stage would be. Again, all these are just black and white right now because we haven't got color, and those aren't even necessarily the final resting places for these. It's just a general idea for right now. All right, next thing up. Okay, this is one of the neatest things that I'm excited about with the show. What we're planning to do this year is have an app that the audience can kind of download or click on, or students in the stands or anybody at football games or anything really. And it's kind of an audience interaction, audience participation thing. So kind of as we're coming on the field, maybe on the drum major podium or something, we have like a little sign that says text this to that number, and then it'll connect them to this app where it'll kind of walk them through our show and kind of talk to them. And we might have a moment like if we're playing our ballad and we want everybody to all of a sudden put their phone on flashlight mode and kind of wave them in the air, kind of like the lighters at a rock concert like you're seeing there. They could do that. Or if we want them to clap at a certain spot, or different things, we could connect with the audience and kind of get them more interactive, because this is marching band, it's starting to get a little boring in some ways, so we want to try and find some ways to kind of spice it up and have more audience interaction. So that's going to be something really neat, and we'll have some more info on that soon, but that's kind of our general idea. I just put the one idea of the phone looking like the lighters in the audience thing, but there could be several different things that we can do with that. That's a place where probably our student leaders and staff can come up with some cool ideas for that. All right, so again, we're really excited about this show, but here's a couple things to think about for everybody. We've got to be all in. It's going to take every person giving their best to make this work. This is not an artsy-fartsy kind of show. This is a fun show. So to pull that off, we've got to really go the extra mile to make sure the energy and the performance level and all those things are there. Over the summer, students, this is what we need you to do. Please practice a little bit each day, or a little bit every other day. We're not asking you to practice 5 hours a day or something, but please pick up your instrument. If you go from now until the first day of band camp without playing, we're not going to be able to pull this off. To make it work with a show like this, we need everybody to practice some. Just a little bit each day would make all the difference in the world. Everybody get exercise, stay in shape. Don't be a couch potato over the summer. If you have to then come to band camp after never being outside and not getting exercise, that's going to be really tough for you as well, because it's going to be an active show where we move a lot and do a lot. Parents, the big thing for you, we need everybody to please pitch in and help in some way. There's a volunteer form on the website, and it's also going to be in that newsletter next week. So please find somewhere to be plugged in. Even if you work a lot and you can't be there physically to volunteer. There's different things we need help with the website and other things like that you could even do from home to help out. So, and then this year's theme is to the nth degree. And our thought process there is we got to finish every task and do everything to the best of our ability. And that's everybody, students, staff, parents, everybody. We got to be into the nth degree. Look, we all know in competition we have to be 5 points better just to be equal to the other groups. We aren't one of the blue bloods, and we're not one of the teams that's supposed to win. So we know that we have to go and do extra just to be equal, and that's why we use those phrases, be undeniable and leave no doubt. But that begins now. That doesn't start at band camp. That begins now with you practicing some over the summer, staying active, and parents helping volunteer. If we can do all those things, we're gonna have a really wonderful season. I'm looking forward to it. This is gonna be a great, fun show, and people will be talking about it for years to come. Go Rebels!